You know, for a guy without a dedicated shield breaking move, Falcon is pretty good at making it happen. Today we're going to take a closer look at some of Falcon's shield break potential. First we'll cover his best moves for the job, and then we'll cover setups for shield breaks from full health. Let's start by looking at 8 of Falcon's best shield break tools. And when I say tools, I also mean the moves that set up opportunities, not just the move that deals the final bit of damage. A fresh knee will delete half a shield, but as soon as it's not fresh anymore, that damage nosedives pretty fast. The second hit of down smash has excellent range, safety, and damage. It's perfect for putting the rest of their shield in danger. I really hope I don't have to explain this one. This damage output speaks for itself. There are some situations where the ability to charge your F smash can make it a threat, but it's usually outclassed. At least it'll almost always be fresh. Scouting out shields and dealing some chip damage is nice, but you know we're really talking about SCARB. Did you really think I'd make a shield break video and not mention a move that could be +6 on block? There's a lot of nuance that goes into breaking shields with the landing hit, but it's absolutely worth it. This is one of his best tools for the job, no question. Okay, hear me out. I actually think that Falcon Punch is a passable shield breaking tool, and I'm prepared to back that up with some numbers. Hitting your opponent with Falcon Punch isn't practical, but it's really not that hard to try to get someone to block them. Jab is the glue that binds everything else together. Falcon has some of the best jab mix-ups in the game. Every shield break comes with the question of, well hey, why are they holding shield here? Jab is why. Now before we continue on to the shield break setups, I want to cover some of that aerial Falcon Kick nuance that I mentioned earlier. This is the landing hitbox. It doesn't reach up very high. Against tall characters, you're going to have a hard time making both hits connect on their shield to finish it off. The first hit can shrink their shield to the point where the landing hit can't reach it. If you land in front of them, then these circles might not overlap and you'll shield poke instead. This can be tricky to aim because of character collision and the shield pushback from the kick. Your goal should be to land in the middle of their body, so start your aerial Falcon Kick from this position here to get the best results. Now let's look at some shield break setups. Now you may think that the SCARB is the fancy part here, but really the jab management is what separates the mains from the pockets. You can only jab once against large opponents. After 2 jabs, their shield is going to be too small for the landing AFK hit. 2 jabs are fine against smaller characters though, so you have a little bit more leeway there for your mix-ups. You have access to a couple more options after a platform SCARB. You can drop down with a falling up air or a nair 1 into a knee. You might even go straight for a plat drop up smash if you think they're going to whiff an option after the SCARB and re-shield. Land with your back air and manually time a standing turn after your landing lag. I use the upper corner of the stick for this. You can interrupt a standing turn immediately, frame 1. I recommend only using 1 jab here to prevent their shield from getting too low. This one's for the tall characters. There's a lot of mix-up potential here between both hits of nair and both jabs. Use that to keep them shielding and control their shield health. You can use a well-spaced knee to bait a shield grab or another laggy out of shield option, and just charge your F smash while they're busy missing. Charge release is pretty fast, frame 8, so you should be able to time it to either hit their shield right as they put it back up, or just catch the startup of a different defensive option. You can use AFK here too, but it would need to be fresh to deal enough damage, and luckily F smash is almost always fresh because it's bad. Down smash 2 is very safe, so people generally know better than to try to challenge it directly. That means they're probably going to jump out of shield to position something instead. Cover their landing immediately with a reverse aerial Falcon Punch and watch them try to shield right as they land. These next few setups have the opponent shielding on a platform. Now this kind of goes without saying, but yeah, they can just jump away, right? So you're going to need to punish those jumps a few times to condition them to keep shielding before you attempt these. Cover a tech situation on a platform with a charged up smash. Now it's a game of chicken. Should they try to shield the up smash before it gets too strong, or risk getting their jump squat or roll snagged? If they leave their shield up for even just a little bit, the decay plus your charge will be enough to one-shot. When you're on a platform together with your opponent, you can drop through and hit their shield with back air, up air, or both hits of nair. That second hit of nair is a great way to condition them to hold shield longer in this position. Drift directly underneath them as much as you can to avoid poking with up smash 2. Nair deals less percent than the other aerials, so even if both hits connect with their shield, you're still going to need to charge that up smash just a little bit. You can full hop or double jump above a platform to threaten them into shielding, then fast fall past the plat to do an up air and shark them from below. We don't want the short hop aerial nerf, we want damage. But we can still do even better. Keep the control stick held down while you're still rising, and you'll pass through the platform on the way down without a fast fall. This is nice because that extra airtime means extra shield decay. The main trick here is to avoid fast falling onto the platform when you're trying to input down and B. Keep the stick held down while you're rising with back air, and just control your drift with the bottom two corners. This one is tricky to condition into. Try aiming for when they're towards the side of the platform so that you naturally threaten the falling up air on the way down. Once you're familiar with the shield break setups from full health, it gets a lot easier to mix and match them in to fit whatever is happening in the moment. Be on the lookout for shield break opportunities when you begin a new stock. All of your moves are going to be fresh, especially knee, and your opponent will have to play defensive while you're invincible. The trick to breaking shields with Falcon Punch is to deal some shield damage, and then let some time go by so that they think they've healed up enough to take a hit. Remember, this stupid thing deals 3/5 of a shield. If you have a better sense for the shield regeneration rate than your opponent does, you can pull this off. I didn't really want to cover double down smash or double up smash just because of how unreliable they are, but I guess they're worth mentioning at least once. If you land one, I think the smart move is to play the shield regen game and then pop it once they think they're safe. That's gonna do it for this video. If you have a setup that didn't make it into the video, drop it in the comments and I'll pin that. Do all the engagement stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.